What does this logo mean to you? To those of you in IT tracks, you may recognize it immediately as the Python programming language. And while programming languages are typically considered something for nerds to play around with, it could be something that's useful to everyone watching this video if you find the right way to apply it. So if you find what I'm demonstrating today interesting, I highly encourage you to take a further look at it. So today I'll be demonstrating how to get started with the Python programming language. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is describe the system I'll be using to install Python, as it's different on different computers. So what I'll be using is the Windows 10 operating system, which most of you, if you're attending classes at MTC, are likely running. This may be a familiar sight to you. It's the Windows 10 desktop, and it's likely something you use every day to log into your online classes or to check your email. And it's what we'll be using today to install the Python programming language. Once we are logged into the system, we can download the Python installer. The process of downloading the installer is rather easy. The first thing to do is to open your browser of choice and go to this link. Once you're there, you'll see a button to download the latest version of Python. Depending on the speed of your internet, the installer will download to your computer. And once that is there, you can open it. To run the installer, we need to open the file we just downloaded. To open the file in Google Chrome, click the chevron next to the downloaded file and select Open. Once you've opened the file, the installer will run and you'll see a pop-up window with some options in it. For this installation, I'll select Add to Path in order to use Python from the command line. If you are unsure of what that means, we don't have to worry about it right now, as this is just an introduction. While you're clicking through the installer, you may notice that you get a pop-up asking you if Python can make changes to your computer. You'll want to click yes to this, as is necessary for the installation to continue. You'll see a progress bar on screen, and once this is finished, Python is now installed on your system. Now that we have Python installed, it's time to write our first program. For our first program, we're obviously going to do something extremely simple. And what we'll do in this one is just make a program that prints the text "Hello World" on screen. It's almost like a tradition when you're learning a new programming language to make a program like this. So to start with Python, we'll launch something called the Integrated Development and Learning Environment, or IDLE for short, pronounced idle. To launch this, click Start and type idle in your search box. You'll see the idle come up in the search results, and you can click that or press enter, and then you will see the console window pop up for the Python idle. Now you can't type code in here, as this is where the output will be. So to create a new file, we'll select File and then New from the menu, and you'll see another window pop up that looks a lot like Notepad if you've ever used that before. So in this window, we're going to type something very simple to start, and this will be our entire program. And it's simply print "Hello World," as you can see on screen. And then to run our program, all we need to do is click F5, or as you can see on screen, I'm going into the menu and selecting to run the program. Before running the file, you'll be prompted to save it. I will save mine as hello.py on the desktop. It doesn't really matter where you save files for now, as files don't start interacting with each other until you start getting into bigger projects. So for now, we'll just save this to the desktop. And once your file is saved, it will run in the console, and you will see "Hello World." Now this is a very simple example because I don't have so much time, but there's a lot more you can do with Python. As I've demonstrated, getting started with Python isn't quite as complicated as you might have thought about programming languages in the past. And if you found this interesting, I highly encourage you to take a look at it more in the future. Programming languages can be useful to more than just programmers. If there's something on your computer you want to automate, or some repetitive task that you just spend a lot of your time doing, you could learn to automate this with Python, and it might make your life just a little better. So with that being said, I'll leave some resources in the description for learning, and I thank you for watching.